The village of Lag is stuck in a never-ending war against demihumans. In the chaos, we meet Kai, a soldier with the combat skills of a potato. During a battle, he and his buddy Manso try to take down a massive gorilla monster, but Kai gets wrecked. Just as he's about to die, Elva, the village's guardian and strongest warrior, swoops in and slices the monster like it's paper. Alva annihilates every gorilla, including the massive gorilla guardian, with ease. After the battle, the soldiers harvest parts from the corpses. Someone gives Alva a strange orb called a Godstone. He drinks its liquid and starts glowing red. Turns out, it boosts strength and spiritual energy. Do regular soldiers get one too? Sort of. They get a single drop, while elites like Alva chug the whole thing. Totally fair. Kai gets his drop, feels a little buzz, and immediately wants more but no dice. Peasant rules. Back at the village, they throw a victory feast. The elites feast on meat while grunts like Kai get soup. Staring at the meat mountain, Kai vows to get stronger so he can earn real food. Later, Kai trains while starving. He yells to the sky about rice balls, a word that mysteriously popped into his head. Manso doesn't know what they are, and neither does Kai, but he feels they're delicious. Kai then points out two grave hills, one well kept for soldiers with families, and another neglected one for orphans. That's where Kai would go if he died. Determined to be remembered, he swears to grow stronger. At the castle, Alva walks with his sister Jose, telling her not to worry about fighting. But she wants to help too. He says she's the chief's daughter, so she's off the hook. Then she sees Kai getting beat up during training with Manso. Kai hits his head during the session and gets a strange flashback of Japan and the word magic. It fades quickly, but sticks in his mind. Apparently, people occasionally get weird visions, but they're brushed off. Later, the village chief receives word another village is under attack by orcs. As per Alliance rules, they have to send soldiers, even the exhausted ones. The chief hesitates, but Alva coldly insists it's their duty to die for the village. Kai can't sleep. He tells Manso he dreamed about fire magic. Surprisingly, Manso doesn't laugh. He's heard an old story about a traveler who lit a fire with just a finger. Intrigued, Kai decides to secretly train magic the next day. He gathers spiritual energy, but nothing. Meanwhile, orcs start massacring another village. Reinforcements, including Kai and Manso, rush in. Manso kills an orc, but Kai gets pinned to a tree by a corpse. Another orc charges, but Manso saves him. Kai's leg is busted. Manso tries to help him escape, but Kai insists he's a burden and tells Manso to leave. Manso reluctantly agrees, promising to visit Kai's grave. Alone and bleeding, Kai tries magic again. Still nothing until the orc stabs him. Then, sparks fly from his finger. The orc charges, but Kai finally ignites its face, defeating it. Victory, except Kai's hand is still on fire. He freaks out, trying to put it out, but the fire is draining all his spiritual energy. He realizes he needs to close the dam in his mind to stop the energy flow. Just as he calms down, he sees the orc still alive and coming toward him. Great timing. Kai manages to shut off the fire, but it's too late. The orc grabs him. Thankfully, the fire blinded the orc, so it doesn't realize Kai is still alive. As it carries him near a cliff, Kai slashes it across the chest and sends them both plummeting into the river. Somehow, Kai survives the fall. He drags himself out and sees the orc's corpse nearby. Desperate, he cuts it open and grabs the Godstone. He gulps it down without hesitation, and just like that, his energy starts coming back. He collapses by a tree to rest. For the first time, he's had a full Godstone to himself. His spiritual energy is through the roof, but his shoulder is still bleeding badly. As he watches the sunset, he figures this is it, he'll die out here. At least it's a beautiful view. Back at the village, the soldiers return to another feast. Manso is miserable. Another soldier tells him to cheer up. Then he realizes Kai isn't there, and it dawns on him Kai must have died. Instead of showing sympathy, the guy just says, he was useless anyway. The next morning, Kai wakes up alive and completely healed. His leg and shoulder injuries are gone, which shouldn't be possible even with Godstones. Weird, but he's not dead, so he'll take it. He notices a strange stone wall behind him, covered in inscriptions. When he tries to clear off the ivy with fire magic, the spell blasts him across the valley. His powers are way stronger than before. While recovering, he sees a glowing divine crest on his face. Only guardian bearers have those, but it quickly fades. He tries reading the inscription, but it's in an unknown language. Giving up, he climbs a cliff, but accidentally crushes rocks with his bare hands. That's when it hits him. The Godstones gave him a major upgrade. Then a mysterious voice tells him to go. Not sticking around to find out who it was, Kai sprints up the cliff. Confused but excited, he decides to keep his powers secret, especially the Guardian Crest, since he doesn't remember being chosen by a land god. Back in the village, Manso is shocked when Kai strolls in alive. Life returns to normal, sort of. Kai's too strong now, plowing entire fields without trying. He realizes the divine crest only appears when he overexerts. When asked what happened, Kai admits he drank a godstone from the orc he killed and 40 more from dead ones on his way back. That explains the power-up. Manso congratulates him. Elsa starts watching Kai a little too much, and her friends tease her about it. Meanwhile, Princess Joss prepares for a monthly grave cleaning ritual. The next day, she sees Kai training and questions him. Since she's royalty, Kai explains everything. She's impressed he's way beyond average. She guesses the Godstones supercharged his spiritual energy and challenges him to a sparring match. During their fight, Kai holds back but still keeps up with her. Joss explains that Guardian Bearer strength depends on both their land god and training. Her own powers are limited since her land god is weak, and she doesn't train as much due to gender roles. She hints there are other responsibilities tied to being a Guardian Bearer, but doesn't elaborate. Instead, she invites Kai to join her on the next grave cleaning trip to Ita Village, where she'll explain more. A few days later, Kai joins Joss's escort team. Oddly, it's not the usual squad. Someone even says Joss personally requested Kai. Manso shuts down the gossip. At Ita, now a ruined ghost town, Joss asks Kai to accompany her to a flower garden. She prays, transferring red energy into the flowers, asking the land god for grace. She admits her powers are weak because her god's fading and explains guardian bearers must constantly train and consume godstones to maintain strength. When they return to the others, Kai notices the gravestone is made of the same stone from the valley. When he touches it, he can read part of the inscription words like Pact and Temple. Suddenly, apes attack. The group scrambles. Kai, Joss, and Manso retreat, but 2 apes cut them off. One stomps Joss's flower garden, and she loses it, swearing to kill the ape. She tries to fight but freezes in fear. The ape lunges, Kai slashes it down, then kills the second one too. Joss is stunned not just by the kills, but because she briefly saw the guardian tattoos on Kai's face. Back at the village, Ola scolds Joss for fighting, but Muluk steps in to calm him. He's more interested in Kai. He's already heard about the ape takedown and is excited to see what Kai does next. Meanwhile, the village tightens security because an inspector is coming soon. Kai's friends ambush him, teasing that he's now a hero for saving Joss. Rumors are swirling that something happened between the two on the trip. Elsa is clearly into Kai, and her friends warn her to make a move before someone else like Joss does. Right on cue, Joss shows up and pulls Kai aside. She thanks him for saving her and mentions she thought she saw a divine crest during the fight, but now assumes it was her imagination. Still, the incident made her realize she needs to get stronger. She tells Kai he's joining her for daily training. He's not thrilled, but agrees. Unbeknownst to them, Kai's friends are spying from behind a tree that's way too small to hide them. They have no clue what's being said, but they're definitely jealous. Later, while Kai's chopping wood, Elsa shyly brings him water. He thanks her, touched by the gesture, but assumes she's just being kind. Manso, however, knows better and teases Kai for being a lucky guy. Suddenly, Kai hears the same strange bird call from the valley. That night, unable to sleep, he jumps over the village wall and returns to the valley. At the old stone tablet, now clearly a god's gravestone, he thanks the god, cleans the stone, and leaves an offering. On his way back, he enjoys the abundant fruit and water and suddenly gets the idea. Why not live here? He decides to build a house. He tries chopping a tall tree, but all he has is a dagger. He improvises with a fire blade, but nearly starts a forest fire. After putting it out, he somehow recalls molecular chemistry, channels his energy into the tree and splits it at the molecular level. Just then, he spots a group of short figures with climbing gear. One introduces himself as Porik, chief of the Korra people. They believe Kai is the valley god they've worshipped for generations. Porik, who's blind but can see spiritual energy, sees divine power flowing from Kai. They've come seeking help recently. Orcs attacked them and tried to steal their land god. Kai is skeptical until Porik says they've already offered a sacrifice, his granddaughter, Aru, who fell into the valley when her rope snapped. Kai rushes to find her and heals her using the same mysterious energy that once healed him despite not knowing any medicine. He somehow understands how her body works. Right then, the orcs attack again. The Korras are outmatched until Kai steps in, taking down one orc and facing the leader, who reveals his divine crest. A voice in Kai's head clearly, the valley god urges him to kill. Porik joins as a fellow guardian bearer. When Kai reveals his own crest, the orcs panic. Despite this, the orc leader forces a charge. Kai and Porik slice through them. Kai faces the leader alone. The orc tries to talk his way out, claiming he only attacked the Korras. Kai isn't moved, they slaughtered people in his valley. Radiating divine energy, Kai cuts off the orc's arm and kills him, then rips out his godstone. Porik is stunned. Kai is the arbitrator, a divine being older than the gods. He explains that guardian bearer stones are far stronger than regular godstones. Kai splits it, offering half to Porik. They drink. The power hits Porik like a truck. Kai holds on longer, but soon collapses too. While he rests, Kai dreams of the day apes destroyed his first village, his trauma resurfacing. When he wakes up the next morning, he finds Aru next to him under a blanket. She says she was keeping him warm and, as a sacrifice, is now committed to serving him for life. Kai tells Aru he doesn't need a servant and insists she go home. But she refuses. Porik warned breaking the offering ritual would curse her people. Before Kai can argue more, the sun rises. He needs to get back to Lag fast. He leaps the valley wall and finds the Korras still waiting. Their village was destroyed, they have nowhere to go. They ask to live nearby and devote their lives to the valley god. Kai reluctantly agrees, letting them settle around the valley, but forbids entry without permission. Before he leaves, Porik pulls him aside to whisper something important. Back in Lag, Kai is greeted by an annoyed Josses for being late to training. Kai mumbles about oversleeping. Later, the chief asks where he is. Manso covers, saying he's doing storage duty. But Visin finds him and challenges him to a spar. He's heard the rumors about Kai protecting Josses and wants to test him. Kai tries to hold back, but his divine crest glows mid-duel. He calms himself, strikes with his spear, and it shatters on Visin's abs. Left with only fists, Kai puts up a fight but gets launched. Visin is impressed and offers to train him. Kai, with no real choice, accepts. Josses is excited. Alva, not so much. He still thinks Kai's just a peasant. Kai's friends check on him later and immediately tease him for getting roped into training with a human tank. With training taking up his days, Kai hasn't visited the valley until that night. He returns and sees a fire. Furious, he said no one could enter. He storms over, only to find Aru, who never left. Technically, she didn't break the rules. Plus, she made dinner. Kai's ready to scold her until he smells the food. It's the best meal he's ever had. The next day at the cafeteria, he's shocked to get a proper portion. The lunch lady says it's a reward for hard work. His friends grumble, but she tells them to stop slacking if they want big boy meals too. Meanwhile, Elsa, distracted by staring at Kai, dumps food on someone's tray and begs for it back. Days pass. Kai trains by day, builds with Aru by night, living a secret double life. He uses his energy blade to help cut trees for her house. One day, he and the crew are told to move a huge boulder. They fail. Then V-Zin strolls in and lifts it like it's nothing. Inspired, Kai later tries using his power to grow a flower, and fails. Being a guardian bearer isn't just cool powers, it's hard work. The next morning, he bumps into Elsa in the flower fields. She says the blooms remind her of their old village. Kai is confused until Elsa reminds him they grew up together. He forgot. She recalls how, during the ape attack, everyone froze but young Kai ran straight at it, buying time for V-Zin to save them. That moment made him a hero in her eyes. Meanwhile, deep in the forest, orcs annihilate the apes. Their general easily kills guardian bearer apes. Their next target? Kai's valley. But he doesn't know yet. Back in Lag, while on storehouse duty, Kai finds a grain of wheat and wonders if he can make rice balls. Elsa asks what that is, but he's never actually had one, just heard they're delicious. Manso interrupts, reminding him there's a mountain of bags left. Then V-Zin bursts in, warning them to hide the food and inspector's coming. Ulva's skeptical, but V-Zin insists, if the inspector sees it, people will go hungry. V-Zin may be tough, but he actually cares. The inspector, Gandalf, arrives. He looks like a giant toad and immediately starts complaining, especially about demihumans. He boasts about killing 10 apes on his way in and demands respect. Josses is impressed until Gandalf starts insulting everyone. And just like that, nobody likes him. A second man, Natada, a monk traveling separately, arrives in Lag. Gandalf inspects the storehouse, grumbles about the poor supplies, and claims he'll be staying in Lag a while, basically mooching. Kai meets Nat at the gravesite. Nat reveals he trained hard enough to earn a divine crest, but never got guardian protection. This blows Kai's mind. Gandalf complains about his meals and demands more, starving everyone else while he feasts. In V-Zin's war room, Nat warns of a large orc group nearby, not huge enough to invade the kingdom, but too big to ignore. He asks V-Zin for backup for an orc hunt. V-Zin agrees to send a squad. Kai tells Aru he's been picked for the orc team. She's worried, but he promises to return. Porek suspects the orcs are hunting those Kai killed before. Kai's ready anyway. The next morning, as Gandalf freeloads, Kai, Josses, and the squad head out. V-Zin says Ulva is busy fighting apes that attacked Gandalf. Elsa gives Kai homemade rice balls, reminding him of a mother he never knew. Kai treasures them and leaves. They find a battlefield of dead apes and orcs. Nat suspects the orcs fought the apes and lost something important. Josses thinks orcs might be after the same goal. Nat reveals he's on a prophecy mission, searching for a god buried in these lands immensely powerful, beyond good or evil. Kai suspects it might be him. At a ruined village, signs of orc activity appear. Josses wants to help survivors. Nat wants to investigate the Godstone. Kai and Nat explore the shrine. Kai's calmness unnerves Nat. Outside, Josses finds an orc corpse. Kai rescues a wounded female Usul guardian bearer who had fiercely fought the orcs but died. Joss is inspired, believing she can be strong too. They hold a funeral, but the Godstone is missing its power, likely passed on. Nat deduces the main orc force took a path directly toward Kai's valley. Kai volunteers to warn them. Back at the valley, Porek prepares to make a stand despite the odds. Meanwhile, Ola finds an ape army near Lag. He wants to attack immediately for Gandalf's approval, but the team insists on regrouping. The squad worries about Kai. Josses thinks of chasing him, but is told her safety is priority. Nat trusts Kai's strength and sends magical spies to track him, suspecting Kai knows more about the Valley God. Kai sprints through the forest, finds many orc tracks, then is ambushed only to find Korers led by Kechek here to help. Having been alerted by Porek, real orcs arrive, including the leader, a Rigdaro's elite warrior with a divine crest. Porek recognizes him. Kai tells everyone to back off. He'll handle this. Nat sees Kai's divine crest and confirms Kai is the god from the prophecy. The orc leader, a Durkin, speaks human and reveals he knows Kai is the Valley God's new bearer. Suddenly, the Valley God tells Kai to kill Raken. Kai attacks with his spear, but Raken blocks and easily knocks him back. Kai tries again, stabbing from behind, but Raken's rock-like skin breaks his spear. He kicks the broken spear tip into Raken's side, but Raken instantly heals and pins him down. Kechek asks if all Guardian Bearers heal like that, but Porek says Raken's regeneration is beyond normal, he might be immortal. Raken mocks Kai, threatening to kill him and destroy the valley. Kai summons all his strength, blasts Raken with fire, making him drop Kai. But Raken quickly adapts, runs through the fire, and kicks Kai across the battlefield, explaining his god nullifies known attacks once understood. Kai pulls a knife for a last stand, but it breaks. Out of options and energy, he looks defeated. The Korers panic. Nada fears if Kai dies, the Valley God's power could fall to demihumans. Raken taunts Kai to die, but Kai spots the rice balls Elsa gave him. This triggers a memory from another world knowledge no one here has. Raken's god can nullify known attacks, but Kai's next move uses atomic science, an unknown concept. As Raken raises his axe, Kai slashes with a glowing energy blade between atoms, severing Raken's arm. Everyone's stunned. Raken enraged charges, but Kai slices him across the chest, killing him. Nada witnesses the fight, shocked and wary of Kai's true power. Back at the village, Joss collapses from a serious leg wound, causing Manso to panic. In the forest, Kai picks up Raken's Godstone. Orcs fear him and back off. Kai absorbs the Godstone's massive power, radiating energy that scares the orcs away. Seconds later, Kai passes out from the overwhelming power. Some time later, Kai wakes up and has no clue what just happened. So, naturally, he asks the Korers, but they're just as confused. Apparently, right after Kai drank a Durkin's Godstone Yum, a massive gust of wind came out of nowhere. Porek thinks it was the land god throwing a temper tantrum because Kai basically absorbed a Durkin's power. The wind? Probably the god screaming in rage. Kai didn't know gods could be that dramatic. Now overloaded with power and existential questions, Kai heads to the stream to wash the blood off his clothes. Clean and confused, he asks Porek if he noticed anything weird during the fight, like someone watching them. Turns out, Porek did feel it too, but since it wasn't hostile, he ignored it. Still, creepy. Kai decides to return to the group, but grabs a quick lunch first rice balls made by Elsa. They might have literally saved his life, so he's definitely going to thank her properly when he gets back. When Kai returns, Manso runs up and tells him something's wrong with Joe's. Kai rushes over and sees a strange mark on her leg. He doesn't know what it is. Then Natada shows up, says he recognizes the mark, but pauses to ask what happened to those orcs Kai was tracking. Kai deflects, saying Joe's needs help first. When pressed, he lies, says he found the orcs, but someone else had already killed them. Natada clearly knows Kai's full of it, but lets it slide. Instead, he says they should take Joe's back to Lag to get treated. On the way, he casually points out the orc blood on Kai's shirt. Kai covers up badly by saying he must have bumped into a corpse. Back at Lag, things have gone from bad to apocalypse. The village was attacked by a horde of apes. Basco, the troop leader, tells Kai they managed to fight them off thanks to Vizan, but the place is in ruins. Kai runs to the town hall, shouting Elsa's name. Thankfully, she's alive, bruised, but okay. Meanwhile, Jose is brought to Vizan, who's shocked because Alva has the same symptoms. He knows what's causing it. The apes cursed the land gods to knock out the village's top fighters. And now, word comes in more apes are on the way. Kai helps Elsa tend to the wounded. Elsa reveals that when the attack happened, she ran with her mom and sister, terrified but thinking of Kai gave her courage. Granny senses a moment brewing and politely exits. Kai tries to thank Elsa for the rice balls, but Maynor interrupts to say Vizan is looking for him. Kai reports to Vizan, who's relieved the orcs are gone, but knows the ape problem is far from over. He explains the curse came from the apes trying to sabotage the land gods. If the curse is lifted, Jose and Alva can fight again. Natada asks Kai to help with that mission because he trusts him. Vizan agrees and sends them off with supplies. Kai vows to do his best for Jose. As they leave, they hear Gandalf whining like usual. He's a guardian bearer but doesn't lift a finger. Natada calls him useless, and no one disagrees. Before the mission starts, Kai finally gets to thank Elsa. She's happy her rice balls helped. Kai promises her a special trip once he's back. She holds his hands and tells him she'll wait. But the moment he walks away, she already misses him. At the North Gate, Kai meets Natada, who got a special curse-breaking kit from Vizan. Jose and Alva are still in pain, so time's ticking. They arrive at the village of El, where Ola's land god is enshrined. If the apes cursed it, they're probably guarding it. Natada uses a technique called Thousand Eyes to scout ahead. Kai recognizes it's what he sensed during the Durakan fight. Natada says it's a monastery secret. He spots 5 apes. Easy work. They attack. Kai slices and dices 3 apes. Natada holds his own. Kai's impressed but realizes his divine crest is showing. Natada already knew, but seeing it now, he kneels and asks Kai to use his god's power to help humanity. Kai awkwardly tells him to get up and changes the subject. While Natada cleans the gravestone to lift the curse, he explains why the human kingdom needs a new god. Their current guardians have become lazy and power-hungry. The kingdom's falling apart. Reinforcements can't even be sent during disasters like this one. Natada believes change is necessary even if it means shaking up the whole hierarchy. He finishes the ritual by pouring Vizan's blood, actual blood on the stone, which lifts the curse. Now it's time to help Jose's god in the village of Edida. On the way, Natada explains more. The apes are desperate. His research suggests something is threatening them in the north, forcing them to invade human lands. Same with the orcs Kai fought. They were looking for a god to help them fight this mysterious threat. Natada warns that if nothing changes, the human kingdom could be next. He again asks Kai to join the kingdom's mycelium and use his god's power to protect humanity. Kai's almost convinced until the valley god whispers, "Kill Natada, yikes." Kai asks for time to think. Natada says sure, but wants an answer after they cure Jose's god. Back in Lag, Alva's mark is fading. If she recovers in time, the village might survive. Meanwhile, Kai and Natada reach the second gravestone, fight more apes, and Natada starts the second ritual. While Natada works, Kai steps out and reflects on his new power. Maybe it can be used for good, but he's still confused why the valley god hates Natada so much. Natada joins him and asks if he's made a decision. He promises that joining the kingdom's mycelium will boost Kai's power and let him protect everyone including Elsa and Jose. Sounds great until Natada drops the deal breaker. He'd have to abandon the Korers. Kai is stunned. Natada insists that demihumans like the Korers are inferior and unworthy of protection. Kai pushes back, but Natada ignores him, saying the kingdom only welcomes humans. Kai refuses. Guardian bearers must protect everyone who lives under their god, not just humans. Natada asks if anything could change his mind. Kai stands firm. Surprisingly, Natada smiles and says, "All right, I'll drop it. I'll even cover for you so no one comes looking." Kai, ever the optimist, believes him. Bad move. Seconds later, Natada stabs him in the back. Kai drops to his knees, shocked Nada just betrayed him. Worse, Nada stabbed him with a god-killing relic, a weapon that disables guardian powers. Nada mocks Kai for trying to use divine strength to protect others, claiming power should serve the kingdom, not one village. His plan? Kill Kai and absorb his god stone. Kai tries to summon his power, but the relic only brings pain. Nada pins him down, ready to end it, but Kai kicks him off at the last second. Meanwhile, in Lag, villagers brace for an ape invasion. They're low on fighters, so the healthy head to the front lines while the injured, including Elsa's family, shelter in the castle. Vizan rallies the troops, promising to defend them all. Back with Kai, Nada continues his twisted speech, but Kai refuses to surrender the stone. Suddenly, an ape crashes in and axes Nada. The invasion has officially begun, complete with flaming rocks. Nada gets hit again and flees, but an ape chases him. Kai tries to escape too, but two more apes corner him and Nada. Their leader, also a guardian bearer, asks if they broke the curse on the stone. No answer. Doesn't matter. The apes want blood. All three apes are guardian bearers. Nada panics. Kai realizes they're the ones who cursed Jose and Ola, and he snaps. He dodges the first attack, then gets impaled mid-air and slammed into rubble. He slashes one ape's stomach, but his wounds won't heal thanks to Nada's relic. Nada returns but finds the apes gone. Kai doesn't trust him and prepares to fight, but the apes ambush them. Nada gets knocked down, about to die until Kai saves him. Nada is stunned. Moments later, Kai is about to be stabbed, and Nada throws a fiery distraction to help. They escape. Nada asks why Kai saved him. Kai says it was instinct. Nada laughs, maybe the god chose right. Still hunted, Nada proposes a plan. Kai fights while he scouts using surveillance magic. Reluctantly, Kai agrees. With Nada calling out ambushes, Kai takes down two apes with precision. But then Nada gets stabbed and falls. The last ape thinks it's won until Kai drops from the sky and slices it in two. Kai wins, but Nada is dying. Back in Lag, Ola wakes up, curse lifted. He hears battle outside and wants to fight. His maid Akwi pleads with him to rest, but Ola insists. He tells her to get his sword, he's going. Kai tries desperately to save Nada, even feeding him a god stone from the apes, but it's no use. The spear shattered Nada's own god stone. He's dying. Kai keeps using healing magic, and just when it seems hopeless, it suddenly works. Nada realizes Kai has performed a miracle, a divine act beyond mortals. In awe, he tells Kai he's become something greater, the kind of power the world truly needs. Accepting his fate, Nada apologizes to his high priest for failing the mission, but says seeing Kai's power made it worth it. Then he dies, rain falling dramatically around him. Back at the castle, Jose wakes up. Confused last she remembers, she collapsed in Yule's village. Chaos is erupting outside. Akwi brings a message from Vizan. If things go south, Jose should flee. Jose refuses. She doesn't want to run, she wants to fight. Seeing scared villagers in the halls, she offers up her room and promises her family will protect them and defeat the apes. Meanwhile, two soldiers check on Gandalf, he's missing. One thinks he's off to help, but the other suspects the truth. Gandalf ran. Sure enough, Gandalf is at the village gate, trying to escape. A rock nearly hits him, and he panics. The stronger than Vizan act was just that, an act. He was riding Nada's reputation all along. Elsa spots him and thinks he's helping until she hears him yelling about fleeing to the capital. When soldiers try to stop him from opening the gate, he stabs their captain and threatens the rest. He grabs Elsa as a hostage, cuts the rope, and opens the gate. The apes storm in. Gandalf escapes, dragging Elsa with him. The front gate's been smashed open, so every available soldier rushes to form a defense line. Problem is, most of them are completely outmatched by the ape army. Thankfully, Vezin jumps off the wall and starts wrecking apes left and right. Kai sprints back to Lag, knowing the village can't survive the ape army even with Vezin's help. He hasn't mastered his powers yet, but he's determined to protect Lag. At the village, officials panic when the main gate is breached. Learning Vezin is holding the line makes them even more anxious. They think the apes are after his Godstone. Meanwhile, Gandalf rides off with his prize Elsa. But she's not going quietly. She kicks him across the carriage. Back in Lag, Vezin is struggling. Manso and the soldiers come up with a plan. Paint fake divine crests on their faces and pose as guardian bearers. It works. The apes hesitate, and the soldiers strike back, managing to barricade the gate just in time. They urge Vezin to retreat. His survival is key to rebuilding. Kai finally arrives and sees the massive army. The apes charge. He's ready. The gate breaks. The fight resumes. Vezin still dominates normal apes, but now enemy guardian bearers show up. Things escalate until Alva, injured but determined, rejoins the battle. His presence lifts morale. Alva cuts down an ape, but struggles against a guardian bearer. Just as he's about to be killed, Jose jumps in and saves him. Injured but fast, she decapitates the attacker. Her move inspires the troops. With Jose, Vezin, and Alva working together, they take down the guardian bearer apes. Vezin is amazed by Jose's strength. Then, a dying ape warns, their king is still out there. The remaining apes stop fighting and wait. Vezin looks over the wall and sees why. Kai is obliterating the army with his bare hands. Vezin tosses him a weapon. Kai goes berserk, tearing through apes like a tornado. The ape army flees. The village is saved. Later, Alva chats with Aqui, who praises him for helping save the village, but Alva knows the real hero was Kai. The guy he once looked down on just saved everyone. Kai, not wanting attention, pretends the glowing crest on his body was fake and wipes it off. Vezin approaches Kai and asks where Nada is. Kai breaks the news Nada died during a mission to dispel a curse. 3 guardian bearer apes attacked, and Kai couldn't save him. He rushed to Lag as soon as he heard it was under attack and never got a chance to bury Nada. Vezin understands and promises to send a team to recover the body. Just then, Elsa's little sister asks if Kai has seen her. He hasn't, and that's when Manso reveals that Gandalf kidnapped Elsa during the attack. Everyone was too busy fighting to chase after him. Kai doesn't wait. He bolts off to save her, even though Gandalf has a huge head start. Manso wonders how Kai's going to catch up to a speeding carriage. Meanwhile, in the carriage, Gandalf relaxes, thinking he's safe until bam, he senses a powerful presence. Enhancing his vision, he spots Kai charging like a missile. Gandalf grabs a bow, but Elsa shoves him, ruining the shot. Furious, Gandalf draws his sword, but Kai's pressure spooks the horses. They crash the carriage. Gandalf is thrown out. Kai finds Elsa stabbed. He tries healing magic, but it's not enough. Gandalf, bruised but healing with Godstone powers, gets up. Kai demands to know if he stabbed Elsa. Gandalf blames Kai's overwhelming energy for the crash. Kai hesitates. Was it his fault? No, Gandalf kidnapped her. He's still the villain. Gandalf pulls the "I'm an inspector" card, but Kai's done. He grabs Gandalf, slams him, ignores the insults, and rips the Godstone from his chest. Kai feeds the stone to Elsa, hoping to heal her, but she starts screaming in pain. Something's wrong. Kai rushes to Porrick. Porrick is horrified. Feeding someone a Godstone from the same species without prep causes poisoning. Elsa could die. He gets to work immediately. Kai steps outside only to be met by 3 apes. He braces for a fight, but they kneel. They've seen the crest of the god Cain on him, and they want to take him to their homeland. End of episode 9. Subscribe because it's only getting crazier.